Oh, there's two answers to this actually. There's only two right answers to like worst gore video. And the ironic thing is that neither of them are actually that gory. Yeah, people are saying the brick one. That's the top two. Yeah, the brick one is probably one of the worst. And then the other one is the whatever officer, Kyle, that gets killed by that World War II vet. Those two are probably two of the worst, I think. The cartel one was pretty bad, but people that, oh, this is really morbid. This is a really morbid topic. People that are getting tortured and killed in real life and shit. It's not. This sounds really fucked up. I guess it depends on how much fucked up shit you've watched, but it's not as fucked up to watch as it is in movies. Because in movies, when people in movies and shit are getting killed, like everybody's like screaming and it's like super dramatic and everybody's like, you know, it's all crazy and all that. But like in real life, I think like people go into shock and aren't very responsive at all. So like this is really graphic, I guess. I'm not trying to be too graphic, but like a person that's like getting murdered in a really gruesome way, like you would expect that person like in a movie where they'd be like screaming and shit, but like in an actual video, they're just kind of like there and they're not really making much noise at all. Like a lot less than you would expect them to be. If it were an actual video, one of the worst things probably would be, this is actually really hard to read. If you're not like used to stuff like this, it would probably fuck you up to just read it. But that, the audio log of the two guys that drove around like finding like women and men and like raping and torturing them and then killing them, that, I think most people would have a lot of trouble reading that, if anybody knows what I'm familiar with. If somebody wants to link it in chat, they can, but like, or not in Twitch chat. But like, I'm serious when I say that, like, if you're not used to that kind of stuff, that will probably fuck you up for like some days. Like, that's a really, really tough read. Yeah, the toolbox killers or whatever. Yeah, I think that's that transcript of the Charlie Lynette stuff or whatever. Care to explain what happened in the examples you give? For example, the brick? What I want to... Basically, it's just some guy's driving and a brick goes flying through the fucking windshield and kills his wife or fiance or girlfriend or something. It's... Oof. So just so that like so that you guys don't start killing yourselves or whatever, everything we're talking about 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6, this stuff is really, really tough and can like fuck your mind up if you're not like, so be careful with like shit that you clink in chat right now, guys. I'm not gonna be responsible for any severe fucking mental trauma you guys go through. Explain the Kyle one. Well, basically, it's an officer that goes to pull over a guy for a traffic stop, and I think it's a Vietnam vet. If you ever find yourself like hating cops and think that cops are too fucked up during like traffic stops and shit, well, I mean, there's a lot of problems with cops or whatever, but like watching this clip will give you sympathy for police officers. It's basically just a routine traffic stop, but it's the guy decides to pull his rifle out and get into a fight with a cop, and it's really fucked up. The Kyle one was from the point of view of the officer's cam on his chest or whatever. It was his dash cam on the interstate, yeah. What am I working on? I'm just building a large underground thing. That one is not so gory. No, neither of those are gory. They're just pretty disturbing, I think. Did you see the Facebook shooter with the old man? Oh yeah, the black dude that was just like, I'm gonna go kill somebody? Holy shit, that was like really fucked up. Imagine you've seen so much shit on the internet. Is there anything that still disturbs you? I mean, I can never say how I would respond to something in real life. I think that's a pretty ridiculous statement to make. So like, I'm sure if I saw something in real life, it would fuck me up. But at this point, I don't think I could see anything on the internet that would shock me anymore. People are depraved. Holy shit. Have you seen videos on watch people die? I don't really check out that stuff anymore. I went through like a huge phase of it growing up where I watched like a ton of it. I mean, like, I guess if somebody links me something, I'll click it, but I don't know. I just don't have a desire to like seek it out and click it anymore. I think I've just been so desensitized to it that I just don't care anymore. That's the Metal Gear Solid codec sound file. Oh, that was really fucked up. well, I think somebody said the name, the shaver guy. The when the cops were like, get like Simon says, put your hands on your knees, like stand up, but keep your hands on the floor, put your hands down, stand up, like, and then you fuck up and you die. That was really fucked up. Oof, that was insanely fucked up. Holy shit. I don't think any cop ended up getting in trouble for that either, did they? Yeah, the drunk dude in the hotel. They did, Destiny. The guy who shot got fired. Is that all that happened? I don't. Oof. Here's my hot take on this, and I don't remember if people agreed or disagreed when we talking about this. I don't think the officer that shot was the one that should have gotten in trouble. I don't think the officer that shot was the one that fucked up. It was the guy giving the commands. That's the guy that should have gotten fucked over that, not the officer that shot. Why not both? So I'm not military personnel. I've never had any form of military training, but wow, this is getting like super video game oriented, okay? So like I would defer to anybody with like police training or military training here, but from the little bit that I understand, I'm not comfortable with soldiers or frontline people second guessing commands from officers. It sounds really mean to say it, but I don't think it's like I don't want to say like a grunt, but I don't think it's like a frontline person's job to do that. So if your commanding officer or whatever is like telling you to fire, then you just do it, because they might have more information than you. They might be in a better position to make a decision than you. Like that's it. Like if I'm on the front lines and I've got like a soldier next to me or whatever, I don't want to feel like this guy's going to be second guessing like calls like or orders that are given, you know, like that's just not in a position that I don't want to be next to that dude. So like the cop that decided to shoot the guy was really following orders from the commanding officer. Like I don't know. I don't think he's as culpable. I think the guy that was making the calls, I don't know if commanding officer is the right terminology, but the guy that was in charge of the situation is the one that should have taken the full brunt of that, I think. Is it okay to question it in extreme cases? So like, here is, so like here's like one of a million examples, okay? Like, and I maybe it sounds like I'm, dude, listen, I fucking hate cops, okay? So I'm not trying to side with the cops here, okay? We're just trying to be objective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like, here's an example, okay? Let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say that the officer, the guy in charge of the situation, just got information that a guy who matches the exact description of the one that's on the ground, he's got information that the guy that's on the ground that matches the exact description is actually hiding a gun. That it's like that someone in the room has reported that this guy actually is hiding a gun in his waistband and that he's like a fugitive or has a warrant. Let's say that he had access to that information and he wasn't able to share it with another officer, or he was able to like ascertain that through some way. Like he knew that, right? If he is telling you that if you move at all, shoot. Let's say that the officer like is having a crisis of conscience there and is like, well, hold on, this guy looks drunk. Like, I don't know if I should shoot. Like, that's crazy. Let's say that you do hesitate when it looks like the guy fumbles on the ground, and then the guy pulls out a gun and he kills somebody. He pulls out a gun and he kills another officer. Like you're fucked. You just fucked up so hard, right? And it feels like in these situations, it's like a game. I don't like to compare it to like League of Legends or whatever. Like you have to rely on the person making the calls, and they have all the responsibility of that situation. I don't think it's up to an individual to be second guessing somebody in a position to issue those commands, right? Like that's how I feel, you know? I'm pretty sure that's true of military stuff. I don't know if it's necessarily the same for police stuff, but I don't know. I would be uncomfortable if the person next to me that was supposed to have my back was trying to second guess calls that were coming from people in charge. That would make me uncomfortable as like a fellow officer, a fellow armed person, you know? Like, I know, like, in the movies, we always like to have this idea that we can all, like, make these hero calls, like, in the moment where we can evaluate, like, what is the perfect thing that we can do? What is the best call we can make to, and be the hero or whatever. But it just seems like in real life situations, you don't want, like, people on the front lines, like, trying to make these value calls, these snap decisions. It's just, it seems like so much can go wrong if it happens, but I don't know. Do I own any guns? I have a Glock 17 because fucking 19. And I've got a Mosin Nagant. Nagant. The fuck up is that the commanding officer, whoever was speaking, has to get proper control of the situation, use the right words of command, etc. to keep the situation safe. That was not done, so a situation arose where an officer felt the need to shoot, ergo it was the CO's fault, not the shooter. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, the guy that shot, like, he has to in that situation. Like, how can you be second guessing your Jesus fuck? Like, it just opens you up to a million different situations. Like, we can see now, it's easy for us in computer chairs to look in the past and go, like, oh, well, the guy wasn't armed, he was just drunk, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's easier for us now to say that, like, oh, well, he shouldn't have shot. But, like, at the time when you're given an order to shoot and the guy is, like, not necessarily complying in the way that he should be, and, like, say the guy pulls out a gun and he kills you or he kills your partner or he kills a civilian, like, damn, dude, now that's your fault. Now you own that 100% because you were given an order and now you've taken responsibility of the situation. And it's not your situation to take the responsibility for. Like, you do what you're told, you know? That's why I think the commanding officer, whoever was in charge of that situation, fucked it 100% and should have been 100% liable for how fucked that was. That was totally on the guy making the calls. His instructions were incredibly unclear. Like, that situation was always going to end in that dude getting fucking killed. Not because of the officer that shot, but because of the guy in charge of the situation. Are you talking about the hotel thing? Yeah. Oh, I've seen this. Well, yeah, the reason why the officers were called to the room was because they were called to the room that there was a real rifle that was being kept in the room. That was why they were originally called. Now, I think what it ended up being was that it was just like an airsoft gun or a BB gun or something. Destiny, to be clear, there was no order to shoot. It was just officer feels life at stake, whatever equals shoot. I disagree. If you want to link it to me, I can go back and watch it specifically. We can't watch it on stream, but I'm pretty sure the officer said, like, if you do, like, the officer said, I'm pretty sure he said at 2 different points that guy was going to get shot. I think he said at the first thing, he said, if you don't listen to me, we are going to shoot you. I think he said that once, and then I think he said a second time, if you continue to disobey these orders, you will be shot. I'm pretty sure the person in charge made that statement 2 times. I could be wrong, I can go look, but I'm pretty sure he said it on 2 separate occasions. So, like, that's about as close as an order to shoot. Like, unless you think that the guy in charge is just fucking around, like. It didn't count as a direct. I don't remember a direct order to shoot. Warnings don't count as an order to shoot. Well, but there is no direct order. A cop is never going to, a person in charge of a situation is never going to tell you to shoot. A police officer is never going to say, shoot, fire on that man. That's like some movie shit. That never happens in real police situations. But police get into situations where they're trained to take shots based on whether or not the person is complying or what the threat level is or whatever, or like if they feel like they're going to kill somebody or hurt somebody or whatever, right? It's never, I could be wrong, because I'm pulling a Count Dankula here. I'm only going by videos I've watched, which I've seen a lot of. But like, in a video, I've never seen a police officer like give an order to another guy where the officer's like, fire on that man, take aim, ready, aim, fire. Like, it seems more like police officers are trained to respond with their weapons given if a certain amount of criteria have been met, right? Do they have a lethal weapon? Do they have intent to harm somebody else? Do they have the means and capability to do so, right? Destiny, there was no order to shoot. If you have to shoot, you shouldn't need to be ordered. Yeah, exactly. That's not, you wouldn't have time to order that. I've been trained with SWAT and we don't even have orders to shoot. Yeah, sure. Unless you've got like a fucking sniper or some shit. You're waiting for like the call to take him out or something. I was basically saying exactly that because what you said before multiple times in the last few minutes was the opposite. Well, what I was saying in the past was that the guy in charge of the situation had basically made it sound like the guy was going to get shot. Like, I think that the officer, like the other officer, like was in the clear to shoot. Like, I understand what you're saying though. I made it sound like the other guy gave like a clear and concise order to shoot. But I feel like the commanding officer had set the situation up such that it was reasonable to shoot the guy, assuming everything the commanding officer was saying was like legitimate. Did the shaver guy ended up dying, right? I'm pretty sure he did. He got lit the fuck up. What do you think about the Canada cop that didn't shoot the van, bro? Okay, so there are two things that I will say about this, okay? One, US police training might suck shit, okay? That might be a thing, okay? Police in the US maybe don't get enough training. The way that I see police handle firearms in some videos really fucking makes me think that police probably shouldn't ever have fucking guns, okay? So that's gonna be my mean to the cops thing, okay? That's gonna be my mean to the cops thing. The second thing I will say is that in Canada, you guys don't have every single fucking person armed to the fucking teeth out on the streets. So it's a lot easier for like a Canadian or a German or a French police officer to be like, oh shit, he might have a gun, guys, like chill. Whereas in the United States, it's like, fuck, there's a bulge, this dude is fucking packing, all right? There are over 350 million firearms in the United States. If you're a police officer, there's a good chance that at any given moment in time, some fucking lunatic could end your life. That's something that other officers in other countries generally probably don't have to deal with. Just to balance out the memes a little, all right? All right. I love you all very much. I gotta pick up Nathan from the school. Are you making a life fruit farm? Yeah, underground jungle. I gotta pick Nathan up from school soon. Up from school soon. Shut the fuck up, dude. Nobody's streaming. Does Steel not stream anymore? What the fuck?
Hi.
Hi. He took like a week off. What the fuck? Pedguin, are you streaming?
How's that a tip?
All right, have fun, guys. Rip on.